So we will start to discuss chapter 4 today. We will start with the prayers. Those who have not said the prayers so far, if you can come forward to recite them. Srinath Prabhu, Megha Mataji, I know you both have already done. Abba Mataji also. Anybody else? If not, one of you can go. Anybody else who wants to? Yeah, Nirmala Mataji. Thank you so much. So it's nobody is a Pandit here, including me. I don't know Sanskrit either. So I just learned by reading. So when we read, that's how we learn. So yeah, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobisham Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. I was born in the. Should I read the translation also, Mataji? Okay. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakrajadam Saha Gana Raghunatana Vidam Tamsa Jeevam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Gana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Cha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunatha Dasa and Raghunatha Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara, Srivasa, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates, Sri Lalita and Vishaka. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu, Deenabandho Jagatpade, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostude. Oh, my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavana. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vancha kalpataurbyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasha and all others in the line of devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Beautiful Mataji. Very nicely read.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. So, like this, we want everyone to take turns. It's not hard. So, if we learn, then we can teach our children, neighbors, friends, everyone. Okay, so uh, we have to go to chapter 4. But before that, if someone asks you, what is the practical point of application that you learned from chapter 1? What would you say? If you're raising hand for this question, you can all to answer this. What is a practical point of application from chapter 1? Yeah, Srinath Prabhu. Okay, not for this. Okay, Abba Mataji. Or in other words, how is first chapter relevant to our lives? There is no wrong or right answer, so you can all try. Yes, Reena Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm just giving it a try. Basically, what's going on is that there is a dilemma for Arjun. He is in the battlefield, ready to take action, and then in a conundrum, seeing all his near and dear ones that he's going to fight against, and he just getting cold feet. So that I think that's what I would sort of understand.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Okay.
Hare
Ashutosh.
Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, I can.
Yes.
Yeah, the importance of facing challenges and fulfill our duties and controlling emotions in the face of adversity.
Facing challenges, controlling emotions. Very nice. Thank you. And who else? Ashutosh Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, Hari Krishna. So, Mataji, I will continue what Reena Mataji said. One has to remember his duty, and there is a possibility that sometimes when you are required to perform your duty, you will feel opposition from your near and dear ones. There is a high possibility, but then you have to be on the path of dharma and you have to do what is right.
Oh, okay. That's so nice. Okay. Shilpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, what I have learned is that means like Arjuna, he was so much attached to his Bhishma Pitama, to his family and everyone on the opposing side, right? He got so scared and he could not even raise arrows against his own family because he was so attached to them. So what I learned that if we are attached to this material world, and he was not able to do what Lord Krishna wanted, right? So
Right.
basically, Lord Krishna represents spiritual path, and all the relatives are the material world, right? So if we are attached to this material world, we're very far away from the spiritual path, and we are also not able to perform our real duties in the material world.
That's good. That's a wonderful observation.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yashita Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. So it's not something like very big actually. Everyone is thinking from Arjuna's point of view, but I mean, it's a very small thing. I don't even know it's a practical application or not, but like, Krishna, as a friend and a teacher, he was sitting silently listening to Arjuna. So I can only say that, like, if friend comes to us to share our problem or any distresses of life, we can be a little empathetic towards them and first listen and lend them some helping hand in
Wow,
that.
that's so nice. That's a wonderful observation from the Lord. For the Lord to be like that is not an easy thing. Thank you. I like that. Okay, who else? Srinath Prabhu.
Yeah, madam, I
Sorry.
can go.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like Bhagavad Gita is like Krishna himself spoke in this regards, and Arjuna is like, as a reference point. So Arjuna's problems are nothing less than like, what we are all facing. So here in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is representing us, and Krishna is our spiritual master. So we all will get lost in this material world, and sometimes we also get confusion. So then, like in that confusion, how we should seek help from our gurus to get over from that the problems that we are facing right now. And here, like, yeah, so Arjuna was just representing us. So other thing is like, so we are all like, suffering one or the other way. So we need to understand our true nature and purpose. Then we have to reach our bona fide spiritual master for seeking guidance and to understand ourselves.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Crisp understanding and explanation. Yeah. Kanika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
Mataji, like I feel like when Arjun, right, when he thinks he is doing everything, like doubts are like demons. He's like his state of mind in chapter one, he's like completely crippled by what's going to happen, and his like, it's his doubts are becoming his demons. But when the Lord is with you and you do something for the Lord, then you start doubting your doubts. Like practically, I feel that okay, now I'm required, for example, to go to the office many more times in a week, right? And I can always say that okay, I can eat outside, I can just make a quick juice or just eat out basically. But if I have to think that I can't compromise on giving bhoga to the Lord, then I'll take that effort of packing food, and ultimately, even though I'm doing it for the Lord, it's for my benefit as well, right? Like I'm eating healthy food. So if I think about only myself, then there are 1 million excuses that, oh, you have to go many times in the office, you have to accomplish this deliverable. Forget it, eat outside. But if you're like, no, at least for some days, I still need to make bhoga, then when you think about the Lord, then suddenly time comes in your schedule.
Wow. That's so nice. So the point is, when we keep the Lord in the center, then automatically all our needs are also uh
Yes, yes.
it gets satisfied. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Sonal Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. So I was thinking like we get to know that Dhritarashtra is not only physically blind, but he's spiritually blind also. That is why he is not able to imbibe the true knowledge that is given by Krishna. So we should be in the mode of surrender like Arjuna when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, when we are listening to the classes. So we imbibe the true knowledge. So that's what practical point I learned, that how what my attitude should be when I'm reading Bhagavad Gita or when I'm listening to your classes or when I'm chanting. So yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. That's kind of what we are going to cover now also in the fourth chapter. You let the cat out of the bag.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mataji.
Thank you so much. Vinayak Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So I don't know. I mean, most of the people might say here, but this is mostly the first chapter is related to the Arjuna. What I see is like, he's not deciding not to fight. So even, I mean, that is the same thing with us as well. Like, people who wants to be liberated, to the God, kind of knowing the God, but we feel like more compassion towards the family and friends. We give more priority to those rather than giving to Lord Krishna, right? So that is one thing. Like what I observed is it's related to our real life every
Uh,
day. So kind of, fear of, what we are doing, is it right or wrong, kind of, seeking some help, from the people who know us, right? So, I mean, what I can say is detachment is important. That's the first chapter would say, like, towards anybody, like, just concentrate on the Lord and do the good things, like, chanting or listening to the Bhagavad Gita, reading. So yeah, end of the day, I mean, we will, like, we'll be very clear, not having any confusions. That's what I think, that is very related to us.
Very nice. Very, very nice observation. That's true. That especially when we start a spiritual path, chanting and reading, we might, many of us, invariably, I can say almost all of us face uh, s- some resistance, some comments passed by maybe immediate family members or friends or anywhere like that. So, what your point is, when we find that this is going to help us in our life, then we kind of get detached from what other people think about us, but we go ahead and we will find answers to our questions. Wow, that's beautiful, Roji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I came to here. Like, obviously, I was seeking for some help, that, I mean, being frankly here. So, but ultimately, I thought this is the real, seek of guidance from you, or, by the Bhagavad Gita. So, yeah,
Very true.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Abba Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and everyone. So in the chapter 1, what I could gather was that as Arjuna's mind was really, he was very much overwhelmed with grief when he saw all his family relatives in front of him, and he thought that it will be a sinful act to, to say, kill them, and he's not going to get a place even in the hell. So he was in a dilemma.
Mm,
And by reading all these things, we think that in daily life we should keep God in mind with clear conscience, and we should do whatever is the need of our, and it should be a correct path. So
mm, mm.
that's all I think. We
That's
should be on the correct path and do all the things which are good, keeping
okay.
God in mind and obeying His
Order. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Chandir Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My take on this Bhagavad Gita is like
The first chapter.
we go through this first chapter, like we go through this all the time. It's very practical actually, when our relatives all are on one side and we are sometimes making decision alone in big family, like when we have joint family, or even at the work situation, sometimes our team is one side, but we know as a head that this is the right thing, to knowing all the team members, like how this project will work up to the end. Or in the joint family situation, one person is not taking right decision in brother sisters or something, and then there is a quarrel, like a fighting situation come, and we just go through a lot of disturbance in our mind, and then we cannot sleep, we have restless mind. And so in this situation we need to have a friend who is very much balanced, like Krishna, who knows what is like very natural and very neutral,
Right.
from both sides, not only our side or other side, but very neutral in both situations. We need friend who can explain easily different way of what I should do in the front to take action. That's what I learned from there.
Very nice. Yeah. So you're practically, you're putting, you're seeing yourself maybe not to that extent of crisis what Arjuna was there, but similar to that in many
Very
situations,
much.
right? And then you want to do what is right according to Bhagavad Gita, according to what Krishna says. And you also rightly said God is neutral. He's
Yeah,
not.
neutral and very natural.
Yeah.
Like Krishna is giving all the three modes, or breathing, or pranayam, or all these things. Like what we do with this body. I mean,
Mhm.
what we experience in this body, like, and how we can, at the nick of a time, how we can settle ourselves, kind of. I
Right.
don't know everything yet, but that's what is coming to my mind right now.
Thank you so much. That's right. Thank you so much. Okay. Reena Mataji, you have something to say?
Yes, Mataji. First of all, thank you for initiating this discussion. I was just hoping we would be doing something like this, the practical application. I loved hearing everybody's responses.
Isn't
I
it?
just,
I
yeah,
also
it is
love it.
wonderful. It is wonderful. I also wanted to add two more things to my response. Basically, how I see this as applied to our lives is whenever we are in a situation where there are multiple um, decision criteria to doing something, you can feel like they all seem like holding some weight, and you can't really decide which one to decide with, like the criteria. So this is the conundrum that the situation has created for Arjuna, and he's just kind of tied between these different, like pulled in different directions.
That's
And so the stage is set for Krishna to come in and give him an overarching paradigm, which he can use, to, I mean, basically we all can use to, when we are stuck in any kind of situation, pulling us in different directions. So I think that's really what I have started using also.
right.
So very helpful.
You have nailed it. Yeah. So there are, I mean, I thought I will do the three chapters like this, but we only have half an hour left. But we'll catch up. Okay, so we will revisit the chapters like this with practical application. And we can also share some instances where some of the things that you learned came up, and then, you were able to, if not for Bhagavad Gita, you would have dealt it in a different way. But now, with this knowledge, you're able to deal it in a different way. Something like this, I mean, in the coming classes. So we will start now. I am so sorry for cutting short the discussion, but we'll come back to that again after going through today's verses. So just a recap. Mm, I think I had some questions, which may not be very good, but at least something better than nothing. Who is this? This is not, this is artificial intelligence in hallucination. Sometimes, yeah. Okay. In chapter 4, oh, it's there with the knowledge, with the answer also. So I'm not going to share this. Otherwise, okay, I will make up some questions and you can try to answer that. What is the reason that Krishna is telling that he had to uh, retell Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? Let me screen share chapter 4 so you can refer also. So, why he had to retell?
Because as a human beings, we have a tender to forget, right, Mataji? That's why he wants to tell all of them again.
Okay, that is true. But in this chapter, he's telling one reason.
The disciplic succession was broken and the knowledge as it is was lost.
Right. right? So he told to Vivaswan, right? What happened to that? So that was broken in due course of time. Why? Because actually it's not broken. It appears to have been broken because there are some interpretations, additions, and deletions in that. So he's saying that because of that, it appears to be lost. So why is he choosing Arjuna to restart this knowledge parampara?
Because Arjuna requested Lord Krishna to accept him as his shishya, I mean like disciple, and that's when when Arjuna surrenders, the Lord came up to pass this knowledge to him.
Very nice. That happened in chapter 2. But here, Krishna is telling that I'm telling this to you because of Ashutosh. I'm sorry, I think he's raised hand for it. So maybe we can raise hand so we can give chance to other devotees also. Ashutosh Prabhu, would you like to answer? Okay, maybe. Uh, yeah, who else?
Can I say, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Krishna, Arjuna asked Krishna when he said that this is not the first time I'm telling Bhagavad Gita. You and me have been in previous births, so many births together, but you don't remember what I have told you and all. Since I have told Vivaswan so many births back, and that time you were also there, but you don't remember. That's why I'm telling you now. This is the second time I'm telling.
Okay, that's good. But why he chose Arjuna? Yeah, somebody wrote in the chat.
He's his friend, and at the same time he's a true devotee.
Yes, Neha Mataji wrote. He's a friend and devotee as well. So that's why I am telling this to you. And Arjuna is asking, like, how come you are senior? And then he's saying that you and me, you were also present, but you forgot. Okay, why the Lord remembers all of his previous births and why Arjuna forgets? Raise your hands. Sneha Mataji.
Because Krishna is transcendental in nature, but Arjuna is like a normal human being. He's born and dies, but Krishna never dies. He just
Right. Right. Arjuna has a material body and the material body changes. So forgets. But so Krishna comes in his self same transcendental body, which is not deteriorating like our body, which the material nature cannot touch. So that's why his memory is also so much intact that how many 120 120 million years ago what happened he can remember. But that means time has no control over him. Okay, thank you, Sneha Mataji. Okay, the next question is when there are three questions. When does he come? Why does he come? And for what purpose does he come? So when does he come? What is the Shilpa Mataji?
Mataji, just to annihilate the miscreants.
Okay, that is the purpose. Why he comes.
Right.
Annihilate the miscreants and
to deliver the pious to devotees.
Pious. Okay, and to establish dharma.
Dharma.
When does he come? Abha Mataji?
He comes whenever the religious practices are, and so they are gone, and so he just comes to, or whenever irreligion is more prominent, he comes to establish all the religion practices and teaching the.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, so that means he's completely under control. He's conscious. Like if you write, if you make a project and if it is live and if there is a bug, then The person who knows head to tail of that, they will know how to fix it, right? Hopefully. But here he knows whenever something is wrong, he comes and he fixes it. Okay. When and why is gone. Okay. At that time, there were some peoples who were doing irreligion. So he established Dharma and he comes also to deliver the pies. But what does it mean to us now? Kanika Mataji?
Oh, Mataji, I had a question. Sorry, I don't have the answer. I had a question relating to this question. I can wait till the answers are complete and then I'll ask my question.
Okay, just this question alone. So, what is the purpose? Janaki Mataji.
To save his devotees,
Yeah, that is done. That is why.
bhaktas.
To save his devotees, to annihilate the miscreants, to establish Dharma, he comes whenever irreligion is prominent. But apart from this, what does it mean to us now? Why are we even discussing this? How is it, Ishwinder Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, because devotees want to serve the Lord, so because of that love, he came.
Yeah, okay. That is right. Devotees want to serve the Lord. Uh, from this chapter, I mean, there are so many answers, but from this chapter, I want the answer. Yashita.
Is it like, I mean, we are discussing this because, again, we do not want the science to be lost, right?
Okay,
So,
that's
it's
correct.
so that is what it means to us.
That's it. Yeah, that's not wrong. The answer is right. But from this chapter, from what we are discussing now, related to the verses. Chander Mataji.
Mataji, to my, it could be wrong, this answer, but in my mind, it comes that to go back to the Krishna,
Hmm.
to merge in the Krishna
Yeah,
in the end.
we don't merge, but we go to serve Krishna. We go beyond merging. Merging means we don't have a individuality to serve. Okay, we will see that later on, but your answer is right. Can you prove with textual evidence? What is the evidence for this? Or can you prove?
Like doing japas, doing prasadam,
Okay,
dressing it up, or giving flowers, like to doing any little thing, keeping the mind fixed in that service first, in every little action day to day, and
okay, that
slowly,
is practical
yes.
aspects. But now I'm asking, what you said, is it said in Bhagavad Gita in this chapter, in the place where I'm sharing the screen? Tell me one shloka where he says this. What you said now.
I think it says somewhere here. I
Find
read
out
it.
somewhere here. Shweta
It
Mata.
is. It's in the purport somewhere.
No, in the translation now. The screen you're seeing in that. Shweta. Yeah.
So Mataji, it's in text 9
Hmm.
where he says that once you understand the nature, transcendental nature of my appearance and activities, upon leaving the body, you won't take birth again and reach my eternal home.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Very
right.
cool. Thank you, both of you. Thanks to both of you. So that is why he's telling all this. Why? Because he's concerned on us. What's wrong with the material world? We will see. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. Even though we are happy today, tomorrow we don't know. And there is always birth, death, old age, and disease. Everything is temporary. So he says, open your eyes and see this. But instead of that, you can come to me. By understanding what? By knowing why I appear, what is the nature of my appearance and activities. It's not like Arjuna's or ours. So he came for a purpose, and what purpose? So all this, if we analyze and understand and absorb our mind in that, then we are going to the eternal abode. Okay. Kanika Mataji, what's your question?
Mataji, I feel that, how like some answers are textbook answers, right? That this is what the syllabus says that, okay, dharma needs to be established, blah, blah, blah. But I feel the Lord descends, which Shabri was waiting. Because for the dharma part, he can just send his assistants, right? To like annihilate the miscreants. But if it's Arjun, that's why he's there. Like his friend is there. Otherwise, if it was a average Joe on the block, he wouldn't have cared that, yeah, fight, do whatever you want, man. I don't care.
Right. That's very nice. So because his heart goes out to his friends and he's already a friend to all of us. So
Yeah.
he's showing that like I am your friend already. You have a choice now to become my friend. So then I know I can do the things like how I do for Arjun. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, all devotees. So we will,
Mataji,
yeah.
Mataji, one question.
Mm.
I know that Arjuna is dear and very close to Krishna, and I don't think that is the reason that Krishna has to come because Arjuna is there. Because if you see Ambarish Maharaj, if you see Prahlad Maharaj, they are even much bigger than Arjuna actually. If you see, so that time avatars came. So I doubt that Krishna came only because Arjuna was there.
No, Krishna cannot see. In case of for Prahalad, he came because to
As an
prove.
avatar he came, but not Krishna himself, right?
Yeah. Krishna himself is saying Bhagavad Gita because Krishna means mainly Bhagavad Gita. I mean, there are so many other things, as you say, there are so many other things that he has done, but at least the basics, ABC of what Krishna did is anybody who don't know anything about Krishna also knows that he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Okay, why? Because for Arjuna he did it. For Duryodhan he wouldn't have done.
Yes.
Right. So the point is, obviously everybody is a devotee of the Lord, but we have forgotten that. So when we are awakened to that and like we are trying to do something, not just we remember, we now know that we are in relationship with the Lord, but we activate that, like activate the account, we say activate the card, like that. We activate our lost relationship, like what Chandar Mataji said, chant, offer, do some personal service like that. Then, we are getting the lost relationship, lost remembrance back. So, the point was Krishna wants everyone to become his devotee for our benefit. Of course, he is not adding out of infinite souls he is having, infinite plus one doesn't matter to him. But for us, we are constantly in struggle. So he is offering that solution, and that's highlighted with his relationship and talks with Arjuna. Okay,
Got
so
it.
yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. I think we stopped from 20. Let's read 21 to 25. Yeah, Prabhu, you can read.
Yeah. 21, right? Or 20?
21.
21. Okay. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possession, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus, working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, who is never entangled, although performing actions. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in a transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his fully contribution of spiritual activities in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of same spiritual nature. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them, and some offer sacrifices in the fire of Supreme Brahman. Some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing process and sense in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the sense in the fire of the senses.
Yeah, thank
Others who are interested. Okay.
So we will pause here. We'll discuss. So what is he saying? Is that then he, after telling about himself, he said that there are many people who have in the past taken refuge in me, and they have all attained transcendental love for me. As they surrender to them, I reward them. And then he says how basically it all boils down to what we are acting. Okay, so it's very difficult to find out what is proper action, what is forbidden action, and what is inaction. So he explained that karma, vikarma, and akarma. So a person who knows the art of doing his activities, karma, as akarma, as something that will not produce any result. Okay, so such a person, he says that, will act with the mind and intelligence perfectly controlled. He doesn't have any sense of proprietorship. He only acts for the bare necessities of life. So this knowledge, with this knowledge, how he acts and how, because he's acting with this knowledge, that what to do, what not to do, and why to do that, and how to do that. Everything Krishna is explaining. So if we do that, then he's saying he's not affected by sinful reactions. This especially is telling to Arjuna, because Arjuna is worried about the sinful reaction. Even that terrible act as killing someone, if it is done under the guidance or the direct instruction of the Lord, then it will not have any sinful reaction. So, and this is a very significant verse here. It's also difficult to understand. There's a very nice example that Prabhupada is giving. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagnau, Brahmana Hutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. So, what he's saying is the consummation is absolute, contribution to spiritual activities, and that which is offered is also of the same spiritual nature. I mean, we don't understand if we read it only the translation. So what is he trying to say is actions are the one that bind us. So for example, today from morning to this, at this time in the night, I have done some actions, and for that I have gained some reactions. So today also I have suffered or enjoyed some reactions from the previous life. So like this, we are constantly doing something or the other. But he says, if you do that constant action as a sacrifice to the Lord, the same action which will bind us will liberate us if it is done like that. So what's the example he's giving is this. For example, a patient who is suffering from a disorder of the bowels due to overindulgence in milk products is cured by another milk products, namely curds. So this is Ayurvedic method of, there is so much milk and there is indigestion because of the milk, then it is cured by curd. So it is also of the same nature. I mean, curd is also from milk only, but it cures. Milk is causing problem and curd is curing. How? The materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Krishna consciousness, which means absorbed in Krishna, which means what did Krishna say about this particular thing in Bhagavad Gita? How did great devotees follow that? And how I can also follow this like this? I mean, trying to see our life, what is present before us, the problems, the solutions, everything with the lens of Bhagavad Gita or with the lens of what Krishna wants me to do. So that is Krishna consciousness. So if we do that, Then he says, the materially absorbed conditioned soul can be cured by Krishna consciousness as set forth here in the Gita. This process is generally known as yajna, or activities or sacrifices simply meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna. The more the activities of the material world are performed in Krishna consciousness or for Vishnu only, the more the atmosphere becomes spiritualized by complete absorption. So that's the point. So he's not only talking about japa or the other activities, but also with the strength of that, if we are able to perform the activities in the material world also in Krishna consciousness, like how Krishna wants, for the sake of an offering to Krishna, then that atmosphere becomes spiritualized by complete absorption. How much absorption we have, that much relief we will get from the reaction and from the material world. So that's why he's saying anything done in such transcendental consciousness is called yajna or sacrifice for the absolute. In that condition of spiritual consciousness, the contributor, the contribution, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagno, the consumption, the performer or leader of the performance, and the result or ultimate gain, everything becomes one in the absolute, the supreme Brahman. That is a method of Krishna consciousness. So, yeah, it's a little difficult to understand, but because of Prabhupada's purport and the example, we can understand. We cannot run away from work, but we have to do work in how Bhagavad
Welcome,
Gita.
July. Guess what is happening? There's a Rath Yatra in Toronto. And it has happened last year also.
So, yeah. So now he's going to talk about different kinds of yajna. Yajna means doing our act. When we do our activities for our own satisfaction, that's karma. But when we do the activities, the same activities for the satisfaction of the Lord, that becomes yajna or otherwise sacrifices. So he's telling about different sacrifices now, how differently situated people can do, they are doing various things, but how that can be as a sacrifice. So 26 to 30, can someone read? Reena Mataji, would you like to read? Okay. I don't know who wants to read. Shweta Mataji.
Mataji, I had a question before I start reading the next verses. So you said that all the activities, the daily duties that we have to perform those in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Lord Krishna. But what do we exactly mean by that? So, for example, I have to take care of my family. So there are certain, day-to-day activities that I perform. But how do I perform that in, Krishna consciousness? That is what is not clear.
Okay. So day-to-day activities for our own bodily maintenance. Okay, that's also there. And our own like family activities. How can we do that in Krishna consciousness? We understand that Krishna has given this family for us to serve. So by doing the family duties in such a way that Krishna is satisfied by that. So we have the every child needs a mother to nurture, right? Because Krishna, Lord cannot be as a mother to everyone. He has given us that responsibility. So with that understanding, when we do the family duties, then that is Krishna consciousness. So when we do with that understanding, two things happens. One is what is not supposed to be done, we will not do that. There are many parents who do things out of, their over affection or anger, or, they think that they are helping the child, but they're spoiling the child. So we know, I mean, those who are, when we read Bhagavad Gita and we know that Krishna wants us to do this, then we will do in a best way that can please Krishna. That's one thing. And second thing, we will learn not to expect anything back from that. For example, we must have spent so much time taking care of the child and other, you know, so much like that. So generally, if we don't link it as a service to God, then when the child grows up, naturally every parent will say, oh, I spent so much for you. I spent so much time taking care of you. Now you're not even bothered. You're listening. You don't have time for me, right?
Right.
Expectation comes. But when we do it as a service of the Lord, we don't have that. We learn not to expect back. Whatever comes, it comes. Whether the child is grateful or not. That will not make us lament that I spent my time serving you. But I spent my time serving you as as an offering to the Lord. So that way there is no expectations back.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's
Thank you, Mataji.
easy to say, but at least theoretically, if we understand, no, then practically, little by little, we can apply.
Right. Difficult to practice. Agreed.
Immediately, it's difficult, but we know this is the goal. This is the principle. Then, with that principle, we try to practice. Okay, thank you. Okay, now I think it's getting late. We'll discuss the rest of the questions at the end of the class, end of our discussion. Who wants to read? Shweta Mataji, you want to read 26
Yes,
to 30?
Mataji, I can read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Text 26. Some, the unadulterated brahmacharis, sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of mental control, and others, the regulated householders, sacrifice the objects of the senses in the fire of the senses. Text 27. Others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of the mind and senses offer the functions of all the senses and of the life breath as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind. Text 28. Having accepted strict vows, some become enlightened by sacrificing their possessions and others by performing severe austerities, by practicing the yoga of eightfold mysticism, or by studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. Text 29. Still others who are inclined to the process of breath restrained to remain in trance practice by offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and the incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. Others, curtailing the eating process, offer the outgoing breath into itself as a sacrifice. Text 30. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. Should I go ahead, Mataji?
No, thank you, Mataji. So we'll pause here. So he's saying different types of sacrifices are there. For brahmacharis, they constantly do shravanam or hear. And then they are, they have mind control, self-control. That is the sacrifices. For a regulated householder, a grahastha, right? The marriage is also called a vivaha yajna. If we say that it's one of the sanskar. Why? If there is no marriage in the human life, then human life will be like animal life. So there is some restrictions. Okay, we live with the family, and like that only there are one partner for throughout the life. So that is a regulated householder, and that also the purpose of both of them should be God consciousness. Then they can uh, pass through many obstacles in their life. If the purpose is my satisfaction and not your satisfaction, then the whole life will go in only fighting. So even that the Vivaha Yajna is also considered as a yajna. And like this, he's saying about the brahmacharis and dravya yajna. They first sacrifice their possessions, or tapo yajna, performing great austerities, swadhyaya yajna, studying the Vedas to advance in transcendental knowledge. And this is about the Patanjali, the process of breath control. This is so interesting. We discussed this before also. So what is he saying? By offering the movement of the outgoing breath into the incoming and incoming breath into the outgoing, and thus at last remain in trance, stopping all breathing. So here it says, can someone read from this to this? The
The
system
system of yoga for controlling the breathing process is called pranayama, and in the beginning it is practiced in the hatha yoga system through different sitting postures. All of these processes are recommended for controlling the senses and for the advancement in spiritual realization. This practice involves controlling the air within the body so as to reserve the directions of their passage. The apana air goes downward and the prana air goes up. The pranayama yogi practices breathing the opposite way until the currents are neutralized into ukara, equi, uh, equilibrium.
Yeah, continue, Mataji. 2 more lines.
Okay. Offering the exhaled breath into the inhaled breath is called richaka. Richaka.
Yeah.
When both air currents are completely stopped, one is said to be in Kumbhaka Yoga. By practice of Kumbhaka Yoga, one can increase the duration of life for the perfection in spiritual.
Okay. So this is practically at this point of time not possible. Even for us to breathe normally itself, we have to take so much help. But what the Ashtanga yogis do, this practice involves controlling the airs within the body so as to reverse the directions of their passage. Instead of exhaling air out, they reverse the passage of the exhaling air and go, instead of it coming out, it will be gone inside only, turn, about turn. You turn and go as inhaled air. So that's why it is saying offering the exhaled breath into the inhaled breath is called rechaka. When both air currents are completely stopped, one is said to be in Kumbhaka Yoga. By practice of Kumbhaka Yoga, one can increase the duration of life for perfection in spiritual realization. Why? Because the amount of time that we are in this body is measured by the amount of breathing that we do. That's why when they say they put cotton here and see what is the ultimate thing, like they may keep ventilator also. But now because of ventilator, they will extend for some more time. But after that, the doctors will say nothing is working. Let's take the ventilator off. So basically breathing. So we are in this body. Before we came only, we know this much amount of breath we will be there. After that, one breath also we cannot be there inside. So these yogis, they will not, since it is calculated by the amount of breaths we take, they learn the art of recycling the air inside only. So first they will breathe once in 1 hour. Only one time they will breathe, take the external air, and the rest of the breathing will be internal only. Then it will go once in a day, then once in 3 days. Like this, what happens? They will increase their duration by many, many years, because the same breathing now is taking many, many years. For what purpose? So that they want to achieve perfection in one life without waiting for the next. For by practicing Kumbhaka Yoga, the yogis increase the duration of life by many, many years. I have personally example of this uh, like this one person who's like 800 years old, he would come into the, uh, because they know this, they can leave their body and they can go into another's body also, these yogis, and then they'll come and they'll tell some things that is, uh, uh, if the people go for the solutions, and then they tell what is a, either you will, this problem will be solved or not, like that. 800 years old, how a person will be, hardly he can open his eyes, and he can, so this person who is normal, when this yogi comes inside him, he will start behaving as though he's 700 to 800 years old, and such yogis are still there. For us, they are crazy people. For them, we are crazy people. So they will not come among us. They will live peacefully in some unseen mountains and like that. But a devotee, should he do this? So Prabhupada says, a Krishna conscious person, however, being always situated in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, automatically becomes a controller of the senses. His senses, being always engaged in the service of Krishna, have no chance of becoming otherwise engaged. So at the end of life, he is naturally transferred to the transcendental plane of Lord Krishna. Consequently, he makes no attempt to increase his longevity. First of all, we can't make this. Imagine if you have to recycle the air. Car only U-turn we cannot take properly. How we can breathing U-turn we can take? This was there some 1,000 years before, or in the Satya Yuga, it was possible. But right now, it's very difficult. But we still don't need to worry if we practice this. Practice the art of doing activities as a service to the Lord. Okay. Okay, so now we'll read from 31 to 35. Yes, Mataji. Vidya Mataji. I think you can unmute. Can you?
Yes, Mataji. Sorry, Mataji. Text 31. O best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? Text 32. Of these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. Text 33. O chastier of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. Text 34. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Text 35. Having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion, for by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, that they are mine.
So this is one line, one single sentence shloka in the whole of Bhagavad Gita. So what is he saying? I mean, what else to say like that? See, every shloka has two lines. In Sanskrit, it's one line. That one line is written as two in English. So Krishna is telling, oh, best of the Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, no one can live, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. What then of the next? So even in this planet or in this life, we can't live happily without sacrifice. What to speak of the next life? Next life is totally gone. Like we were discussing today, everyone wants to live comfortably, right, in this world to acquire so many, you know, so many countries, so many places, and so many who are struggling. So, but if we are in a good position that we don't have much financial troubles, and we are born in a family where, they make us study, and we have been given the values, this is because of our sacrifice in the previous life. Without yajna, we wouldn't have got this. Because we are here and we move around only with people like us, we don't have an idea how much amount of varieties of families and sufferings are there in the world. So, if we don't use this life, which we have gained after so many sacrifices in Krishna consciousness, what is the guarantee that next life we will be happy? Because after so much of this thing, we got some comforts, okay? But if we only, use these comforts in just being materially happy and everything, then the next life is pathetic. It depends on what charity we did, right? So that's why he's saying this. See, if a person is not inclined to perform yajna according to the Vedas, how can he expect a happy life even in this body? What to speak of another body on another planet? There are different grades of material comforts in different heavenly planets, and in all cases, there is immense happiness for persons engaged in different kinds of yajna. But the highest kind of happiness that a man can achieve is to be promoted to the spiritual planets by practice of Krishna consciousness. A life of Krishna consciousness is therefore the solution to all the problems of material existence. Heavenly planets we can go, but after our punya is over, we'll be kicked off. In fact, in one sense, being born in a nice family, in a nice country, having a house and having possessions and all this is like heavenly planets in this planet only, a higher grade of happiness. But if we don't use that for further sacrifices, then we are heading for our future is not bright. But the highest kind of happiness is going to spiritual planets, because there nobody can kick us out. Once we have attained, we have attained. That's it. So, yeah. So that's what he's saying here. And this is a very important shloka. It's a memorization verse also. Anybody who wants to recite this? Yes, Abba Mataji. Do you know this?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. तद्विद्व त्वदिद्दि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
Very good. Thank you. So, one point from fourth chapter, if we want to know, is this. After explaining all this about yajna, what to do, what not to do, how to do, Krishna is telling this. Krishna didn't tell to Arjuna, and through Arjuna to all of us, I have told you Bhagavad Gita what you should do, so you just read and follow. He said, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Because it's a practical knowledge. It's not just theoretical knowledge. Somebody who has seen this knowledge and practiced this knowledge, then they can give us this knowledge. But why would they give if we are not submissive? Anything that we do in this material world, we have to pay back, right? Without paying, we cannot do. So we pay by service. So that is render service unto him, because actually we cannot, if we have something in value equal to this knowledge that we are getting from the guru, then we can give. Okay, you pay $10 and then you get some good for this. But this knowledge that Krishna is giving as a guru is I mean, nothing in this world can equal to that, except for that. That's why we are asked to do service. So see here, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission, not that blind following, constitute the proper combination of spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master, and when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So what is this blind following? Because so many people, follow. My son say, oh, okay, what is this knowledge? Oh, 2.3 million views. This must be good. Let's see this, right? Just works properly. If there are so many people going, then okay, let me also go. That is blind following. That is condemned. Also, absurd inquiries. So, if someone goes to a spiritual master and asks, can you show me God? And the spiritual master saying, oh yeah, I'll show you God. Here is God. It's like it's going to someone and asking, can you make me a PhD? Then if just by writing PhD in a paper and sticking on his forehead, does he become PhD? No, right? So when many people ask Prabhupada, can you show me God? Prabhupada asked, I can show you God, but do you have the eyes to see? Then they don't have a, reply. And then he said, if it is dark, these eyes are so useless that without the source of light, if it is dark, I cannot see my own hand. What to speak about seeing God? That is one thing. And also, we should know who is God before accepting. That's why not that spiritual matter should be understood blindly. Whether is he giving God? How do we know? Unless we know who is God, right? We have to test it. Like if someone wants to purchase something, say a knife, then he should have a proper understanding of the knife. It is a sharpened instrument. It is used for cutting, and then with that knowledge, he can test whether this knife is good or not. But if we don't know the knowledge of God, then anybody can cheat us. If someone is saying that, okay, I can, if Prabhupada is telling that if you want to know God, but you don't know what is God, you go and ask someone, can you show me God? Then he will give you a dog and say, this is God. So because we don't know what is God, then how can we test? So he says, at least we should have a theoretical knowledge about God. So not absurd inquiries, not in a challenging tone, but understand everything clearly, clear understanding in submission and service and inquiries. So this is why, this is very important. If we learn knowledge like this, what is the result is this, that having obtained real knowledge from a self-realized soul, you will never fall again into such illusion. For by this knowledge you will see that all living beings are but part of the Supreme, or in other words, they are mind. So seeing that every living being is a part of the Supreme, even those who we think that they are my enemy or I hate them and this and that, but if we connect them as being a part of the Supreme, then we will never be in illusion. So that is a result of very nice purport. So then, okay, let's read for 36 to 40, the last few verses. Anyone who wants to read? Yeah, Sri, what's up?
Text 36. Even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. Text 37. As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes, O Arjuna, so does the fire of knowledge burn to ashes all reactions to material activities. Text 38. In this world, there is nothing so sublime and pure as transcendental knowledge. Such knowledge is the mature fruit of all mysticism, and one who has become accomplished in the practice of devotional service enjoys this knowledge within himself in due course of time. Text 39. A faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. Text 40. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next.
Yeah, we can read the other two also.
Text 41. One who acts in devotional service, renouncing the fruits of his actions, and whose doubts have been destroyed by transcendental knowledge, is situated factually in the self. Thus, he is not bound by the reactions of work, O conqueror of riches. Text 42. Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight.
Thank you. So we can see two examples. What are the two examples he's giving here? The power of the transcendental knowledge. What does it do? Yes.
It equips you to fight any spiritual battle and material.
Okay, that's the end. But what are the two analogies, examples he's giving?
As a blazing fire turns firewood to ashes.
Yeah, that is one.
Oh, there's one more. I think it's text 36, Mataji. I don't know.
You're right. See, this is also an analogy, right? Even if you're considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, means whatever we have done, okay, knowingly, unknowingly now, what if we are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, that means we know what is right and what is wrong. We follow the transcendental knowledge from now on. Then he says you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. So, boat of knowledge, cross over the ocean of miseries. No matter whether we are even the most sinful of all sinners. Okay, and also blazing fire turns firewood to ashes. So, the fire of knowledge turns to ashes all reactions to material activities. So far. And 39 and 40 talks about faith. So a faithful man can go ahead and achieve this perfection quickly. But if a person keeps on doubting, what he says, for a doubting soul, there is happiness neither in the world nor in the next. So, because if there is no faith, then we will not follow what we have to do. It takes a long time to even get that. But if we have a little faith, then we'll be ready. Okay, let me try this. At least that much faith we should have. Then we can make advancement in this. And finally, he says that those doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge. Armed with yoga, O Bharata, stand and fight. So he is changing the perspective of Arjuna towards the war, giving him transcendental knowledge. Okay, devotees, so we'll pause here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions? Or anything you want to share? Yes, Lavanya Mataji.
That one you're saying, the breathing one. So, that is an unbelievable thing, Mataji. Is there anybody, do you know the person name or yogi? Did not hear, I don't know how
Oh
it is called.
yeah, so many come for
There's
Kumbh
somebody.
Mela, no? Some of them they'll
Okay.
speak how many years you are. I'm 500 years. Okay, I'm 700 years. Like that, they speak among themselves.
Oh, where do they stay? Still they are alive?
Yeah, in Mahakumbh. They come from
Kum?
Himalayas.
Oh,
I know. I told you, like when I was in school, there was one person near my home, and he was not claiming himself to be God, but he told that yogi will come, and that will be like 700-year-old Tamil language, and that's very hard to understand now. So whatever he speaks, when this yogi comes inside, they write it down, and then they check with the manuscript, and that from that they will make out like what is he trying to say. For one person who asked that, I want to have child, he told directly on the face, this janma you will not have because of your sins in the last janma, like that. Like this, it's not mincing words directly like that. I have personally witnessed this thing. He's not claiming to be God, but he's called Siddhas. They are called Siddhas, or they have achieved the perfection. One kind of perfection like this.
what do they do? Because even 100 years, it's so long. It's a boring life, How that many years? What do
So,
they do?
so the point is, they don't want to take another birth and again try for, because from you don't know where you will be born according to the karma. Then you have to continue a spiritual life. But when we take birth, first 10 years goes in only seeing here and there, and the next 10 years goes in studying and this and that. By the time a person awakes, the 20-25 years, something makes sense, then he has so much of responsibility. So they don't want to get into this again. So they want to extend life as much as possible to achieve perfection. That's why they're doing.
Yeah, but still, Mataji, after 60 years, it's everybody think it's like we don't want because Vyadi and all, Jara,
So
Vyadi,
they
that is
have
not
that,
kind of.
yeah, but they have the perfection of, they know their body upside down, no, like they can take out the small intestine, wash it and put it back like that. But still, that is not spiritual. I mean, they are trying to attain perfection not through bhakti yoga, through their own Ashtanga yoga way, Hatha yoga way, which takes a long process, and also they get siddhis like this, that they can, for example, Prabhupada said during he was in Prayagraj when he was uh, with his family for some time. So it's very common for Kumbh Mela in the citizens there that they would suddenly see some yogi coming up from the from from the well in the backside of their house, and then walk through the house to the Kumbh Mela site. It's very common.
Okay.
them to see. Why? Because they know the art of traveling through Ganga. They will amalgamate their elements to and only keep the water element, and so they can travel through the water element, and they'll come back to the well, and then they'll put again reconstitute everything and come back in a human form and go.
So,
This
okay,
was
Mataji.
a science and this was possible, but now we are not suited for this now. Proper breathing only we do only, it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, but yeah, instead of like living that many years, it's better to reborn, right, Badaji? In like a good, like a
What if
good
you're
health
not
and
reborn in human life also?
human
Possible.
life only you get anything, whatever gnana and moksha, whatever you want,
Sorry?
right? Human birth only you will get like a moksha or whatever you think,
Yeah,
gnanam.
so they're afraid that, I will be judged and I don't know. Even in human birth, there are so many births in jungles, in other places, again by Maya. Again, to come to a level to practice spiritual life, it takes at least 25 years. So they don't want to waste the time and take the risk.
Mm.
That's the criteria behind it. But Prabhupada is telling this for a person who's thinking about Krishna, at the end of the life, if he thinks about Krishna, what does it matter if you die in 60 years or 600 years?
Yeah. Yes.
So that is what we have to practice. If we are able to lead a God conscious, Krishna conscious life, surely at the end of the life, we will think about something that we have been thinking about throughout the life. So we don't need this artificially doing this. But Bhagavad Gita is a book for all yogas, for all yugas. Right? So he's telling all yogas. And finally, he's giving a contrast. Okay, I have told you all this. Now, Bhakti Yoga, it's only 4 things you do. Simple. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer homage unto me. I promise you that you will come to me. So for a contrast, so he has to present. Otherwise, the whole Bhakti Yoga, if he says, think of me, the whole Bhagavad Gita, then we'll think this Krishna simply is boasting. So when we
Put
know
those
the
4
other yoga,
points in the chat, Mataji.
sorry?
Put those 4 points into chat, Mataji. 4 points, can you put in the chat?
You know the shloka 9.34. Manmana bhava madbhakto.
Madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyati santa
That,
pratijani priyosime.
yeah. Another shloka is Mame Vaishyasi Yuktva Atmanam Matparayana.
Parayana.
Both, he's telling this shloka twice. End of 9th chapter and also 18.66. Right? So the answer is Manmana, think of me. Bhava Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam Namaskuru, offer namaskar to me. But there are so many things that these 4 things, if we do, then the rest with what attitude, everything will follow in that. But these 4 simple things Krishna is saying. But nowadays, who's doing namaskar? You see, only during festival days they go near the Lord. Generally, I mean, otherwise they put loud music and dance and this thing. And during festival time, they all become very good. Go and just like this, like a Japanese person, nobody bows down to the ground. That culture is gone.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
This generation is, I think, I think it's worst, I think. So they are not going to temple at all.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Srivatsa Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji. I had 2 questions. The first was when the verse was read, Brahmagnyo Brahma Havihi, that verse. The translation said Krishna consciousness, even though the verse says Brahma.
Okay.
So, why are these words frequently like interchangeable? Because Brahma, as far as I know, is a very different entity, right?
No, it's not Brahma, it's Brahman.
So is Brahman being referred to, or is Brahma being referred to
Not
in that
Brahma.
verse?
Brahma is not the four-headed Brahma is being referred to. Brahman. See,
Okay.
Brahmarpanam. Brahma means transcendent.
Brahma.
Is
So when you
spiritual.
say Brahmarpanam, samarpita to Brahma, right?
Yeah, not Brahma, not four-headed Brahma. This is
But the
spiritual.
N is not there, na?
Huh?
N is not there. It says Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havihi.
Yeah,
It does not say Brahman.
this Brahma, any translations you see, this Brahma is not the four-headed Brahma. Otherwise, Brahma Havir. Brahma represents Brahman or the Supreme. That, but in the colloquial term, it is in the meter, it is said like this: Brahma Havihi, Brahma Agnav, Brahmana, by the spirit soul here. This Brahmana means by the spirit soul. That's why in Sanskrit, one term means 7 meanings. Offered Brahma eva tena gantavyam. Gantavyam is reached. Here, Brahma means spiritual kingdom. Brahma karma samadhina. Brahma karma is spiritual in activities. Samadhina by complete absorption. So he's talking about how to do activities in complete absorption of whom? Of the Supreme Brahman. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. And the second question, I was recently watching the Modi podcast on Lex Friedman, where he talks about his experience in the Himalayas and all these things. So my question is, in the Kali Yuga, is it good to have a true yogi in a position of power, especially in a place like Bharat? So if you were to have a true yogi, will this individual be able to transform the system, or will the system get to him eventually?
If he is a powerful person, he will transform the system. And that is what is told in the 4th chapter. I give you the homework to read 4th chapter, 1st verse, purport. Okay,
Okay.
why Krishna is telling to sun god?
Okay.
Verse 1, because sun is the king of all the planets. Because of
Okay.
the other planets are existing. Because sun is giving heat and light. At least this much, whether they agree sun, planet or not, everybody knows, even scientists, this planet is existing because of the sun. So he's like the king of all the planets. And so the sun god, who's a king, was given this. Why? So that he is able to distribute it to the others. So it is important that people who are in the uh, in power should know things properly, because it's easy for them to give this knowledge to others. See, the kings of all planets are especially meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of Bhagavad Gita in order to be able to rule the citizens and protect them from material bondage to lust. Human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge in eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the executive heads of all states and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to the citizens by education, culture, and devotion. In other words, the executive heads of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path utilizing the opportunity of the human form of life. So, yogi is required. That's why it's called Raja Rishi. Raja is also a Rishi. He has to be a Rishi. Otherwise, he will be only a materialistic king.
So we can still aspire to that end.
Yeah.
We don't have to necessarily separate ourselves. Some of our purposes can be, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Got it. Thank you, Mataji. Shubhratri.
Thank you. Vinayak Prabhu.
Right. So my question is regarding the spiritual guru, or bona fide spiritual master. So I mean, in this material life, how a person can be approached or can be approached to a spiritual guru.
Okay, one more important point that I forgot to mention is that a guru has to be in the parampara. That is a main criteria here. Because he says, right, I spoke this to Vivaswan, Vivaswan spoke
Yes.
to Manu. Like this way, if you are able to choose a guru, that guru should have another guru, and that guru should have another guru, and that lineage should lead to Krishna back. Okay, so then
How do we find that, madam? I mean, in this world, like we don't know, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so if someone is telling that I am a guru, okay, but I don't have a guru, then it's a problem. So if he is a guru and he is able to how do I if he is able to take know that I am a disciple of so and so guru, then like that if you go up to Krishna, ultimately if it reaches to Krishna, then you're safe. Then that guru is why what I'm trying to show is the if you go to the end of the introduction, what qualification that Prabhupada has to um is writing this Bhagavad Gita at all, right? We are all learning Bhagavad Gita from what Srila Prabhupada is writing. So he is giving his credentials. Who is he and how is he a guru? Of course, he is no more. Guru means somebody living, but somebody in that lineage who's coming, who has a guru, then you can comfortably know that your knowledge is perfect. See, evam parampara praptam imam raja rishiyo viduhu. Raja rishis we were discussing. So from Krishna to Brahma to Narada to Vyasa to Madhvacharya to Padmanabha, Narahari, Madhava, like this way, this parampara is coming, and A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and his disciples are now continuing. Not one guru, that's why ISKCON has many gurus who are disciples of Srila Prabhupada, but who has spent a lot of time. There is not that anyone and everyone can become a guru. So for example, there are different types of guru. Like I am trying to share what I know, so I am one type of guru who can give siksha, or like giving some knowledge, sharing some knowledge. There is one guru called Diksha Guru, means who is giving the mantra to chant. That's actually he is called as the guru. When we refer to, he is the one, the Diksha Guru, or the guru who gives us the mantra, or the uh, eligibility to chant the holy name.
Yeah, it was happened very, my childhood. I don't even remember who was that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, then you
I
will not,
mean,
you're not following that also, then that's not accounted. If we get the mantra, then we need to keep chanting. So in ISKCON, there are disciples of Prabhupada. Prabhupada is no more. So you have to take the mantra from a living guru. So there are gurus who give this mantra, but there is a qualification for us also to accept the guru. So what is that qualification? Is that we need to we need promise that we'll follow 4 things in life, that give up all the sinful activities, and also chant a minimum of 16 rounds every day. That means it's like at least 2 hours in a day. In 24 hours, we should be able to spend 2 hours at least. If we are coming up to that stage, then the guru we can accept.
got it. But you said, I think, if we do not have a guru, whatever you are doing is not effective. I don't know. I mean, I'm stating it right or no.
Yeah, so now we are practicing to take a guru. See, to take a guru also we should have qualification, no? So what we are doing now, reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting, all is we are qualifying ourselves to see who is a guru and whether we need a guru at all in our life, whether we'll be able to promise this, that I will follow this path throughout. All those things, we are slowly coming up to that level. Till that time, for all of us, for many, many, many generations to come, Prabhupada is the Siksha Guru. Siksha Guru means one who is giving instructions.
Instructions. Like
After
you.
taking Prabhupada's instructions, then we find somebody who is coming in that Prabhupada's parampara to give mantra. That is Diksha Guru.
Diksha. Got it. Yeah.
So now what we
Yeah.
are doing will not be a waste because we are still taking instructions from Srila Prabhupada, knowing that he's coming in the parampara, and we are not taking it blindly also, right? We are
Right. Right. No, I'm not telling that's not, I mean, I'm trying to say it's not effective. It could be a good, but
no, it
yeah,
is
but
effective, it is practice. Just like, you
Mhm.
want to play a basketball game, but before that you need to practice. So like that, we're taking a guru is not a joke. So we need to practice before we commit to this.
got it. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Vinayak Prabhu. Tomorrow we have a meeting in Concord area.
I think you can share me tomorrow. It's not possible. I think Mataji. Tomorrow I have to
Okay.
meet my friend.
Also,
Yeah, but you can share me the address. Whenever I can just visit.
yeah, okay. I'll
Yeah,
share.
I mean, I can also follow up with Satish.
Yeah. I'll share it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
Sneha Mataji.
Hello, Mataji. So I have this question like Krishna is the one who is breathing out all these universes and all the people are getting created, and we are the people whose ultimate goal is to be liberated, to unite with Krishna again. So why is Krishna really creating the universes and he's giving us a manual like Bhagavad Gita to navigate through and again reach him? That's the thing I didn't understand. What is the purpose? Why Krishna is doing this?
Thank
That's
you,
my-
Mataji, for the question. This question, when asked to Prabhupada, he answered like this: why the government has to create jail at all, a Department of Justice, and then why put the criminals in that, and then why make it a rule that you have to be there for so many years and then you can come out? Because the government's purpose is not to put everyone into jail, but there are some people who will cause havoc to the other people if they are not in jail. So their movement has to be restricted. So all of us who are here, we are getting thrown away into different species of life, birth, death, old age, and disease, like this, right?
Mhm.
So that is like a prison only for us. We are eternal. We want to always be happy. But one or the other, we are getting miseries, and we are also, changing from one body to another. So this is prison for us. But since we want to try it out, God has created this.
No,
But
okay.
it is our choice. Because of the criminals, the government is creating a jail. But the
Yes.
government's goal is to make everyone a good citizen, isn't it?
Right. But like we are already people, number of people, and among us some are bad, some are good. So that is why we are trying to create a system. But Krishna is a single person, right? Like single, and there is no bad or good. He is everything. Then why is he breathing all the universes out and again trying to unite them?
So this universe is only the material universes. The
Mhm.
spiritual universes are 3/4 the size of the material universe. Okay, all of us put together here in the creation is only 1/4 of his spiritual world. That's why if you see the Goloka chart, we saw that in the 8th chapter we will see that Again, the Brahma, from Brahma Loka to Patala Loka, all this put together is only one universe. And outside this, there is spiritual world, and there is n number of planets with n number of living beings who are liberated souls. So when we get also liberated, then we are promoted there. So because we want to enjoy separately from God, we are given an opportunity to try it out. And when we tried out many times, it doesn't work, then we will surrender to God. Finally, I am yours. Please take me back. Then we are promoted to the spiritual world and never again will come back. That is Krishna's promise.
Okay. Like, will Krishna get anything from all this creation and destruction, or that?
He's neutral. He doesn't get anything, but the
Okay.
sense, he's like want to give facility for his souls, the children who have gone away from him after different lifetimes, to come back to him. Just like the father gives, the child wants to drive the car, the father gives the child a toy car to drive.
Okay.
Similarly, he is giving us a place thinking that, okay, you want to enjoy independent of me, you try it out. But we can't get over birth and death. We can't get over so many things that, is controlling us. So then we realize that I am a right person, but this is a wrong place. My place is with my Lord. Then we desire to go back, and Krishna arranges the way.
Okay. Okay, got it, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for the very nice questions, Mataji. Where do you stay?
In Charlotte,
Chap.
we met in Patel. I
Yes.
got a.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Can you text me which area in Charlotte?
This is in Mallard Creek.
Mallard Creek.
Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow we are having a meeting in Concord.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah.
I take your number. You have my number? I
Yeah,
can
Mataji.
I can send you details.
Okay.
Okay, you can come with family.
Okay, sure, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you. Anika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams for the beautiful class as always. Mataji, you know how it's like the colloquial thinking, right? That like you were talking about that Siddha who said that you will not be able to have a child because of your previous sins or what have you. But is it a fair statement to say that when you take to Krishna consciousness, whether you have a child or not, you get married or not, all that is just an arrangement of the Lord? Like he thinks what is the quickest way for you to come to me?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this Siddha
okay.
was not Krishna conscious.
Yes.
So he's not promoting a system where, in Krishna consciousness, because we are chanting and especially we are offering, all our sinful reactions to previous actions will go. So even though like we don't have karma, if Krishna wants, he can give.
Right.
So it changes dynamically. Only in Bhakti Yoga it changes. But in other Ashtanga Yoga, there is no this buy one, get one free offer. So
Right.
yeah. So it's not, but he's seeing that. The very fact that he's able to see that is what I was mentioning.
Yes, because I also like, yeah, that is, I mean, I understood what you were saying. I was just thinking because, like, I mean, it's just unfortunate, right? Because that's how people, since like, I think time immemorial, we've been told, oh, this person's karma is bad. That's why they're suffering like this. But the one thing I learned, at least in Krishna consciousness, is that the Lord will like create arrangement for you in a way that will help you go to Him.
Exactly. And we are not the one to judge anyone. What
Right.
we
Right.
see is how to help. Anyone is suffering, we don't know why they are suffering, what, but we have to put ourselves in that suffering. I mean, we have to put ourselves in that shoe, and that's what Krishna is saying. We have to help them. We need to see what is a dharma. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu answers these questions.
Mhm.
Like, we can't analyze what is their karma, but we should do what is our dharma at that point of time.
Right. Beautiful, Mataji. Thank you. Like, I think I even read like a letter of Prabhupada ji where he, I think somebody wrote to him complaining about his astrological chart. And then he laughed and said in his letter that Krishna will just one kick. How many Rahus can Krishna kick, you know? Like, why do you care about astrology?
Right, right. Yeah, thank you. Nirmala Mataji, last question for the day.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So you mentioned about gurus, two types of gurus, Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru. And Diksha Guru is the one who gives the Diksha mantra. My question uh, is Diksha mantra the one that begins with Om? And have Lord Chaitanya mentioned anything about Diksha mantra?
Yeah.
And isn't Maha mantra alone enough to be chanted to get liberation? Why do we need Diksha mantra?
The Diksha also Mahamantra is only given.
Okay, okay.
Harinam Diksha Mahamantra is only chanted by the Guru in the beads and given. So
Oh,
Mahamantra is so powerful that it can be chanted before Diksha, it can be chanted in the Kirtan form loud, and also the same mantra can be got from the Guru during Diksha, and then that's what we promise that we will chant 16 malas of that mantra every day. If so, all this is if we come up to that level and if we want to take Guru. Otherwise, we can do whatever is possible chanting.
okay, Mataji. So, the Diksha mantra is different from the Maha mantra in the sense, after we get the Diksha, chanting that Maha mantra, is it more powerful than we chanting it without getting Diksha?
Yeah, it is because now there is a pact. Now it's like getting Diksha is like nowadays everything is in internet. Even when a person is in school, he can know very well about medicine. Okay. He can learn about the call. I mean, what is a doctor? What does he do? And all, what are the subjects in the first year? What is a practical lab? Everything he can learn. But if he is not registered and entered into a medical school, will he be accepted as a doctor? Although he may be perfect,
Right, okay.
right? So Diksha is like that. So we have been practicing that, and then by Diksha, we get the blessings of the Guru Parampara to chant this throughout our life. Otherwise, it's not possible in our own endeavor to do this. That's why
Okay.
we take this. We take. That's why Krishna is saying, "Na tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena seva." Guru's blessing is important, especially to carry on spiritual activities every single day, the rest of the life. You can imagine, it's
Yeah.
not possible by our own endeavor. But first, we endeavor and desire to give that much time to this. Like for example, now you're regularly coming, right? Monday and Thursday. See, I say 9 o'clock and I finish by 10 o'clock. So sorry. But still, come because you are determined to give your time and your patience and you want to know this. So that is like a commitment from you. Seeing that commitment, the Lord will send you more determination to chant and more guidance as you go by.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Hare
Thanks.
Krishna.
Thank you for your time. And I want to finish soon, but somehow it extended too much. Sorry for that. So we will pause here today. Thank you all very much for your wonderful time, questions, your sharing of your realizations was amazing. So we will continue this again on Monday. Please go through the purports and the translations once more. If you have any doubts, we can discuss. So thank you so much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear.